Hey, howdy, and a big welcome back to Clemhawks, folks. I'm Yak and ready to take you through yet another Minnesota Twins live stream edition of the scoreboard this afternoon. Back from camping out in the woods, and it looks like now Mr. Devin Smeltzer has runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th inning. He's the starting pitcher so far for the Twins today. 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts to begin today's play here in, it's in Minnesota. And currently the top of the 4th with runners on the corners. 2 outs as mentioned. We'll catch up with the box score right quick. Baltimore so far in a 0-0 game has Wells on the mound. He's pitched 3 innings, 5 strikeouts. So the guy's almost thrown 2 strikeouts an inning, and he's got his ERA all the way down to 3.1 in this game with the hot start. However, for Smeltzer, he's down to a 2.67 ERA. He's thrown 47 pitches, 30 of them for strikes, 3 strikeouts, only allowed 3 hits so far, and he's been rather effective. However, I'd hate to say it, but the Minnesota Twins, folks, are getting no hit, no walked so far in this ball game. The Orioles do have an error, but still, right, no hit right now. And you got Arise, Correa, Polanco, Miranda, Kepler, Gordon, Sanchez, Kirilloff, and Celestino in the lineup. All of which, here's the craziest part of all of this, they're all batting above 221 finally. Yes, this Minnesota Twins team starting to pick up the averages a little bit lately, and we're in the middle of the 4th as Santander was out advancing center fielder Celestino to catcher Sanchez, and Santander is out. So you got Correa, Polanco, and Miranda coming up to the dish here to start this ball game's bottom half of the 4th inning. Correa, Polanco, and Miranda, the guys to get it hopefully done here in the bottom of the 4th, where you're looking to break up that no-hitter. And for the Baltimore Orioles, yes, they have 3 hits. It's Mountcastle, Santander, and Nevin with the hits so far for them. And man, the Baltimore Orioles have some ugly, ugly batting averages on their team this year. We talk about the Twins not being able to bat worth a damn. Arise, they're at 342 this season. Correa's still holding steady just around that 300 clip at 296. Polanco's got his batting average up to 240. Miranda's sitting there at 245. Kepler's at 236. Gordon's at that solid 262. Sanchez still struggling, 221. Kirilloff, though, after coming up and batting that 181 and holding 200 for a while, he's really gotten the job done and up to 235 on the season now. And Celestino dropping by the day down to 286 on the season. It's Correa stepping in against Wells now. Wells pitching a gem so far. He's got 5 strikeouts, 3 innings pitched, and no runs, no hits allowed. And what a dang shame it would be if he allowed a hit to Correa, who's looking for a hit, to get in the hit column in this ballgame. I love that. That is probably one of, if not the best jokes that the MLB community has come up with in a while. Correa, though, he will be out, so it will be Polanco coming up to the dish here. And what am I doing home? Well, my friend, I am absolutely tanked. It has been a long weekend of camping up here in Canada. Of course, July long weekend, celebrating Canada Day. I know you folks down there in the States have Independence Day tomorrow, and happy Independence Day long weekend to you folks, because it is going to be an absolute riot of a time, I'm sure. Be safe around fireworks. Gotta always preface anything I say with that. However, ooh, bless me. Yeah, no, I was just beat out. It's been a long weekend of sleeping on the ground. Oofta. All right, anyway. Wells has now got Polanco up to the dish. Polanco's 0 for 1 in this ball game. And he'd be looking to do the same thing Mr. Carlos Correa looked to do, and maybe get a hit so as he can get on board to hopefully allow Jose Miranda to get a hit and then maybe cash a run, right? A little bloop and a blast wouldn't be too bad to get the Twins up on the Orioles halfway through this game. 2-0, 3-0 here after the end of the 4th. Oh yeah, let's go. That wouldn't be a bad time at all. However, Wells has been effective, right? 3.1 innings pitched on the game, 5 strikeouts, no runs, no hits, no walks. He has been immaculate, other than the Baltimore Orioles made 1 error in this game so far. So that's, right, we're talking pretty close to perfect, but just that far off from perfect that it does not work. And Madison, happy third. Well, I don't know what is special about the third in the States. I'm sure it's just a big old party Sunday, considering the 4th is on the holiday Monday. I don't know if you guys have the Tuesday off as well. I know a lot of folks probably take the Tuesday off as well this year, but never been in the States when they've been celebrating July 4th, so that's all I can tell you. However, what else I can tell you is Polanco just struck out against Wells, so how about that? 3.2 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts for Tyler Wells, who has been just masterful against this Twins lineup so far. Again, I still don't understand why Buxton's playing like every third day at this point, but he could be nursing the injury, or somebody just hasn't told me something about what the Twins do. Clem doesn't really do a good job updating me on what the Twins are doing. He'll do his game review once every 2 or 3 days, and that'll be about it and all right there for us here on Clemhawks. However, now it's Jose Miranda, who, oh, by the way, has struck out already in this game, 0 for 1 and looking for a hit. But Tyler Wells pitching a gem through 4. He's got it all the way down to 53 pitches, trying to get through the 4th inning, and that would give him, what, about roughly about 15 pitches an inning, which ain't too bad of efficiency if he wants to go 7-8 this afternoon against the Minnesota Twins at Target Field. Miranda, though, so far he's been steaming up, right? They had that walk-off last night, trying to get the job done for the Twins a little bit more by the day. He is part of the future here in Minnesota, so you'd like to see him come out and be a little bit more of a factor here as the season heats up towards the end of the year. And if you check the MLB standings, Tyson, the Minnesota Twins solidly up on the Guardians 3 games now. Yes, that's where the Twins find themselves. However, right, 556 winning percentage, 45 wins. You'd like to have Jose Miranda start contributing a couple more wins, and that would really get you going there. And that's the thing for the Twins. If they could start having a couple of guys just pop off and win you 2 games a week by themselves, right, and rotate different guys throughout the week, it would be just dandy. Jose Miranda, however, pops out to second baseman Odor, and that, my friends, is the end of the 4th inning right there. Wells pitching a gem through 4, no hits, no walks. And how about this? ERA down to 3.05. So he will register that big old 3.0 as soon as we end the 5th, if he cannot surrender another run in the 5th. So that's pretty interesting, that's for sure, for Mr. Wells, who's been pitching pretty all right so far in this ballgame. And just like to welcome everybody aboard. I see we've climbed up to 5 viewers so far, guys. It's pretty unusual that in 8 minutes of a live stream we're already up to 5 folks in the stream. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Of course, if you feel like I'm just dead today, you are absolutely correct. I've been more or less sleeping on the ground for the past 3 nights, out with the spiders in the middle of nowhere, the spiders and wasps. So it's been a rough weekend, but hey, you know what? We'll cap it off with the Minnesota Twins stream. Just relax, get some water in me, rehydrate, maybe get some tea in me here in a little bit, and we'll crush off a live stream, and then go have an afternoon nap at about 4 o'clock and call her Sunday, and then recoup and get going for tomorrow. See, folks in the United States have tomorrow off because it's a holiday. I have tomorrow off because I booked holidays, because I'm a smart guy. And if I'm going to sleep on the ground for 3 nights, I'm going to have a day to recover. And that's maybe also a day to celebrate July 4th with my friends who will be home and hanging online here on Clemhawks, right? Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. That's where we're sitting. That's where we're sitting, my friends. That's me today. That is me today. That's all you need to know. So, the Orioles, well, who do they got coming up? They got Odor, McKenna, and Martin coming up here in this top half of the 5th. Interestingly enough, all these guys 0 for so far. Of course, the Orioles only have 3 hits off Devin Smeltzer, who's back out there now with a taken strike and a ball right out of the gate. He's got 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks, and no runs against. You gotta love that, because Smeltzer had a couple rocky starts here in the past couple of weeks, and now really needs a big start here against a weak team in the Baltimore Orioles to really come up and get the job done, right? The Orioles, not necessarily a weak team. I mean, there's 2 weaker teams in the Central than the Orioles in the AL East, right? The Orioles 35-44. They've lost their last 4 straight, however, and that's kind of the story that it be, right? The Orioles playing the Twins here right now. The Twins have won 3-2 and then 4-3 with 2 walk-offs in a row against the Baltimore Orioles. Buxton the other day. And then, of course, you've got Jose Miranda today, the other day, yesterday. Sorry, if I could make words, maybe we'd be good. We're going to have quite an interesting go. However, right, it is just what it is, right? For the Twins, you're finding ways to win after a couple of bad losses to the Guardians there. And now you've got a chance to really make up some ground here in June, right? So far in June, I don't want to curse it, but the Minnesota Twins have a 2-game winning streak. And I think in July, it's July. Welcome to it. I've been out in the middle of nowhere with no service. I forget what month it is. But so far in July, the Minnesota Twins have a perfect record, my friends. And guess what? End of day, when it comes down to it, the Twins had a terrible June. You'd love to have a 5-6 game winning streak right out of the gate for the Minnesota Twins when it comes to July, right? That would be a huge get if you could go out there and just win 5-6 in a row right out of the gate, really bump up the energy going into the All-Star break, maybe push 1 or 2 guys over the top for the All-Star nod, right? Just really, really get into it. And the nitty-gritty of it would be really nice to see for the Twins if they could sweep this series against the Baltimore Orioles, and then go out and really do some damage here on the next series and really get the job going. So, yeah, it is just end of day what it would be for the Twins, right? If they could go out there and win us a couple of games in a row to start this month, that'd be huge. And right now they've already done that part, and it's a home run for Odor. That cracks the score. Sorry, I saw a home run, and I'm like, holy crap, there we go. The Twins did something. But Devin Smeltzer gives up a home run in what was an absolutely epic battle against Odor. And he goes top shelf goodbye for a home run to give the Baltimore Orioles a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. And that, my friends, is an unfortunate get for Smeltzer, who is pitching pretty well so far in this ball game. And now all of a sudden we'll find his ERA inflating again. And I mean, yeah, sure, giving up 1 run through 4+ is not necessarily going to sink you. But for Smeltzer, it would have been nice to see him, like Dylan Bundy the past couple starts, getting out there and lowering that ERA substantially a bit, so as that he can start getting back to some normal ball and getting back to really being a productive starter. But you know what, 1 home run not going to be the end of the world, right? And it's a solo shot, so nothing to worry about there. But for Smeltzer, he can't come out and fire ball 1, ball 2 on the next 2 batters, and that's what he's done, or next batter, and that's what he's done to McKenna right now. But you got to believe, right, the Twins at some point, if they've been able to walk off the Orioles 2 nights in a row in low-scoring ball games by the Twins standards, you got to believe the offense is coming as soon as that bullpen for the Orioles comes out, and all you have to do is bat Wells around 5 runs here in the next 2 innings or something. Even 3 runs would probably do it at this point, and you'd be good to go. McKenna flies out to left fielder Nick Gordon, and there you go. Smeltzer replies right back with getting an out. So that's a huge get for Smeltzer, who was, right, just knocked around out of the park, and he has to come back and answer right away with a flyout, which gets the job done for him. So that's huge there for it. Yeah, that's a big get. Yeah, all right, that's good to go. And now you got Martin coming up to the plate here for the Orioles. He's playing shortstop today. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, 1 of 3 victims that Devin Smeltzer has set down via the K, and it would be nice to see him maybe strike out Martin again for another time. And here's the other side too. I haven't explained this to you guys yet on this live stream, but here's the Baltimore Orioles batting averages line up top to bottom. Hayes at 273, Mancini at 277, Mountcastle at 281, Santander at 234, Rutschman at 210, Nevin 189, Odor 198, McKenna 234, and Martin at 172. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, that bottom half of the lineup, it's the part that got the job done here just a second ago against Mr. Devin Smeltzer. But, I mean, realistically, the Twins should have all kinds of success, especially once the better guys in the bullpen come out if they're available today, and just kind of feast 3 up, 3 down these guys. And you know the Twins offense is capable of doing it against these Baltimore Orioles. They've done it 2 games in a row, and it's not just going to be one of those games you fall off the wagon. And I mean, the Orioles have struggled the past couple of games, right? They've scored 9 runs in their win 5 games ago, but you go back to it, nothing, 3, 5, 8 runs in the last 4 ball games. They've already scored 1 tonight, so you got to think, if you're the Twins, you just allow them to score 1 more run and then beat up on them and absolutely go to town, score 6 yourself, and make it a laugher. All you need is 3, realistically. If you're averaging out the last 4 games for the Orioles, you just need 3, and the Twins are a completely capable team of putting up a 3 spot in the 6th or 7th, calling it an evening, getting the bullpen in there. As long as they don't blow it, you are good to go, and you sweep the Baltimore Orioles. That is not a bad situation at all. However, it is Martin who walked on a full count, so he has some guts and takes a close call and walks on down for ball 4. But Hayes will come up to the dish. He's 0 for 2 this game, so even the guys that have been productive for the Baltimore Orioles struggling today against Devin Smeltzer, who's been stellar, right, by the Twins pitching standard. He's been pretty solid. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 4 hits against, 3 strikeouts. And you got a man at first with 1 out in the top half of the 5th inning. Austin Hayes at the dish, and Trey Mancini waiting on deck. So, right, this Minnesota Twins team, they know how to take care of business. They know what they have to do. It's just a matter of doing it. And that's where they've really struggled, right, is just a matter of doing it. But hey, you know what, this Orioles series, you've come in with the right attitude. You just lost 3 in a row prior, and now you come in and you just got to beat up. Just got to beat up on the Orioles. And yeah, you've only walked them off in 2 straight games, but you've demoralized them at all, kind of, sort of. And at the same rate, you know what? Go out here and win a ball game today, and done and dusted, 3 in a row to open up July. And I don't think any of us are going to complain about 3-0 to open up July for the Minnesota Twins. However, Hayes has taken his time here to get a result in this at bat. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen here, and yeah, it's one of those things, right? Take a breath. I just went on a rant. Take a breath, Tyson. Come on, yeah, get it together. A man at first, 1 out. Austin Hayes at the dish. Devin Smeltzer, like I said, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, no walks. He's been stellar so far for the Twins, and you'd like to see that continue into the 6th, 7th, maybe. Right, get them going 6 plus, 6.1, 6.2 innings pitched, and that would be a real big get for the Minnesota Twins if you could get Devin Smeltzer to go 6.2 innings, get somebody in there to close out an inning, and then go out there and throw down the 8th, throw down the 9th, call it a game, and win yourself a ball game against the Baltimore Orioles. Like I said, you probably only have to score 3 runs. So that's not the problem in there at all. You can probably get that done and call it good. However, Hayes is now out. So you've got top half of the 5th. Martin was caught stealing. Pitcher Smeltzer goes over to first, and they catch him in a rundown. All right, game on. That was interesting. And Smeltzer, wow, all right, that was a mess. I'll read you the play-by-play. Martin was caught stealing. Pitcher Smeltzer to first baseman Kirilov. Kirilov over to Polanco. Back to Smeltzer, to Correa. Martin gets tagged out. Done. Richie Martin is off the base paths, and Austin Hayes in a 2-1 count finds himself with 2 outs and nobody on the base paths, and Devin Smeltzer just got a gift from Richie Martin on that front. That is an easy out once you get there, and my goodness, the Twins executed to perfection, and Devin Smeltzer back below a 2.80 ERA with a 2.78 on the board. And yes, sirree, that feels good. That is good to see if you're a Twins fan, getting out of some tighter situations, right? Smeltzer, obviously, all you'd like to see is for him to get out of this inning, 1 run against, 5 innings, pretty good of pitching, and then just maybe let the bullpen come in right now. He's at 70 pitches. I think he can get through the 6th, but this 3rd time through the order, we're talking about the modern day MLB, probably not going to happen. But for the Twins, if you can get your starter, and I mean that is the key to success for the Twins, if you get your starter to give up less than 2 runs through 5 innings and they do not cost you in the 6th or 7th, my goodness, my friends, this Twins team, they start batting the way they are capable of, are going to go far. And it's not that we haven't already, but man, this Twins team is capable of so much more than they've shown, right? 9 games above 500. This is a team that if they get everybody firing on cylinders, right? Sanchez hitting 2-3 jacks a week kind of deal there for a stretch of 3 or 4 weeks. This team is capable of being 15, 16 games over 500 by the time the month is done. How do you do that? You win ball games at the start of the month, and that's what the Twins have done against the Orioles so far, as they got Hayes to fly out to Gordon again. So there you go. You've got yourself 3 outs, and you're headed to the bottom half of the 5th inning. But, right, you just got to go out there and win ball games at the start. That's where that 5-6 game winning streak comes in handy, right? 4 more games, that puts you 13 games above 500. Don't matter what anyone else is doing. If you're 13 games above 500, you're going to be starting to do some good things right. And for Max Kepler, Nick Gordon, and Gary Sanchez, they are looking to be part of the production, right? And if I'm going to call it, you want Kepler to double, Gordon to single, and then Sanchez to blast. And that's how you go 3 up, 3 runs kind of deal right there. And that would be pretty stellar if the Twins could get that done here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. However, you got to wait for it to get done, and that's the hardest part of all of this, is just sitting back, waiting, and praying that it happens if you're a Twins fan, because that's tough right now being a Twins fan, because they haven't really been delivering too much on the promise and the premise of what this lineup is fully capable of. Obviously not having Buxton in there every night, and when he is striking out 4 out of every 5 at-bats, that's a pretty tough go as well, but we'll battle through and get it going. And my goodness, why do I got the Dolly TV banner up? I wonder why it's glitching out. There we go. Clemhawks, we're good. Golden, we're good to go. So there you are, right? We're sitting pretty, and so far the stream is generating exactly what it should. $1.46 watch time on 15 views. Folks, welcome aboard, and yeah, we're going into the bottom half of the 5th inning here, as yeah, we're just waiting for this ball game to resume, and then we'll get going with what we can do here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Tyler Wells steps to the mound, and there we go. We're off and running as Max Kepler steps in a 1-1 count, swinging on the changeup inside or outside, sorry. And now you got him kind of a situation here where Kepler's just looking to crush a pitch into an alley or down the line for a double. Get to second, Nick Gordon singles him home. Gary Sanchez blasts one to the park, 2-run shot, 3-1 Twins. You win 3-2, you call it a ball game. You got 3 wins in a row to start July. Sounds easy, right? I make it sound pretty simple. And for Nick Gordon, he'd love to hit with a man on base, because so far the Twins have not gotten anyone on base here in this ball game other than via an error. And for Max Kepler, he'd love to be the guy that gets the first hit, because Tyler Wells is yet to surrender a hit in this ball game where the Twins are hitless and the Baltimore Orioles have held the Twins without a hit. So Nick Gordon would love to do that, but he's on the on-deck circle, so it's up to right now Max Kepler to get said hit and get the job done. And Kepler would love to get aboard, right? Double, single, home run, and instead Kepler will get out. That's nothing new. He's batting in the 230s. Max Kepler, shocking against Wells here so far this game, strikes out. 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings pitched for Wells now on the game. And stepping in, the man who's already struck out once in 1 at bat, Nick Gordon against Wells, who will now play with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. This game is zipping along, right? This has been a fast-moving ball game because, simply put, right, when you're striking them out, setting them down, and getting up into the top half, getting a hit, 1 man out, and done you go. That's it. But there you go. Talk about the doubles, baby. Talk about the doubles. 1 batter too late, but you got the hit, and you got a man in scoring position for Gary Sanchez. Nick Gordon doubles and gets the job done. So Kirilloff should, by all means, get a chance to bat with a runner on as Nick Gordon doubles to right and speeds his way over to second. And Gary Sanchez still has a chance to deliver the 2-run homer we were talking about to start this inning. Oh, baby, there you go. There's the life I needed, right? Just something to suck me back up, and all of a sudden my eyes are going buggy because I am dying here, need a nap real bad, and right now the Twins need a run real bad. And obviously a Gary Sanchez home run would change the complexion of this ball game substantially. Wells loses the no-hitter 4 1/3 innings into the game. Really not that far, right? You don't really start going on no-hitter watch till about the 6th, but it's so unusual nowadays that a pitcher gets into the 6th even just pitching. So that's where we're currently sitting, is Wells is 4 1/3, bottom of the 5th. Gary Sanchez at the dish and Nick Gordon at second after the double to break up the no-no. And that would have been nice to see for Wells, sure, for as an Orioles fan maybe, but right now Gary Sanchez being much nicer to watch him blast one over the fence and call it a 2-1 ball game after that. Gary Sanchez swung on and fouled back pretty much a middle cut fastball, but for Sanchez too, you'd like to see him start hitting a couple more home runs, start hitting a little bit more for power, start hitting a little bit more for average, and just all around doing a little bit more hitting if you're the Minnesota Twins. Obviously too, maybe draw a walk, but this big strikeout or blast kind of guy, I get that, but honestly, as the Twins, if you can work with him and just settle him into the box a little bit more and be a little more productive with getting on bag, right? Obviously, yeah, you've got a catcher that can catch for you, and then Sanchez can DH depending on the lineup situation, but you'd like to see Sanchez really be a much more effective batting option for you, especially if he is going to be your DH 2 out of 3 games a series. And Sanchez has got this ball in play now. 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. There is a runner at second, so if this is a single, there's a chance, a very good chance, speedy Nick Gordon scores a run, and you've got a tie ball game here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. This one's in play for a while. However, Gary Sanchez flies out to Hayes, but speedy Nick Gordon advances and tags up to third. So there you go. That's going to do just the job, just dandy right there if you're the Twins, getting him man over. And now Kirilloff, like I said, will get a chance to bat with a runner in scoring position. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in this ball game, but I think you're going to take your chances with Kirilloff at the dish, cash in a run, as opposed to Celestino, who's on deck 0 for 1 in this ball game. And you'd love to see the future in Kirilloff go out there and get this job done. He takes a high fastball for ball 1. And what I forget about Kirilloff all the time is that he does bat left-handed. That's the weirdest part that I forget, is I always want to say he's a righty, but he's a lefty up there in the box. And he's a guy that, right, when he pulls that ball, he's effective. But for the Orioles, you just want to get out of this inning and escape the damage, right? You've allowed that one hit that was going to do it against you, breaks up the no-no, and now all of a sudden Kirilloff looking to cash in a run and tie this ball game. It would be sweet here to see Alex Kirilloff absolutely jack one out of the park. That would be just mint if you're asking me, my friends. That'd be a good go, but right now we just got to wait for a result here from the Twins and get something going here eventually as things roll along in this ball game. Again, folks, welcome in. I'm Yak. This is Clemhawks. Clemhawks will more than likely not have a review of this ball game, so I will carry you through the review today. He is watching the NASCAR race and may have some NASCAR entertainment for you post-race. We'll find out depending on what's going on with that race. However, this ball is in play now for Kirilloff. And come on, baby, just hit it out of the park. If Kirilloff hits a homer here, this is a clutch moment. Probably knocks Wells out of the game to start the top half of the 6th. And then that trashy Baltimore Orioles bullpen gets a chance to really stink it up and allow the Twins to really cash in some runs. and instead it is Kirilov flying out to McKenna in center, and that is it. That is all for the 5th inning in this one, so that sucks. But what do you do as a Twins fan? You just regroup and go into the top half of the 6th, hopefully pitch yourself a gem, and away you go with it, kind of deal, right? That's all you can ask for, folks. We're still sustaining the stream enough right now, so I'll keep it going right now as we're doing all right so far. And Tristan McKenzie, nothing of substance in terms of MLB news today, so that's all we'll go. And I'll just put this in here. And I want you guys to check something out for me if you haven't had a chance already. We'll go on over to Clem's channel here, my channel, and away we go. Currently live streaming the Twins and stuff. We can catch the review of yesterday's walk-off win by Jose Miranda. Clem's review from yesterday. And I've been forgetting to do this in the streams lately, and I feel bad because I think you guys really miss an opportunity. If I don't put that link there, you really miss an opportunity to really check out some of the good stuff that Clem puts out instead of me just doing what I do best, right? Supporting Clem, getting him that extra little bit of viewage. And I mean, if you're tuning into the stream, you're more than likely going to try and get a good grasp of what's going on here on the channel. And Clem is a big part of the channel. Doesn't do a lot of the live streaming anymore, but we'll hopefully have him maybe live during the All-Star break, maybe one night, depending if he wants to be the guy to stream the Home Run Derby or not. But I'd love to be the guy to bring you the Home Run Derby here on Clemhawks, and hopefully get Clem back into the monetized section of YouTube here as well. Currently 1,650 hours away, which realistically isn't that hold on guys, give me a second. Got a little situation from camping. This going. Let's get fired up and let's get this Twins game up and done with. Oh, the Twins are losing 2-0 now. 3-0. Okay, excellent. Smeltzer goes from bad to worse, and now you're down 3-0. And the Baltimore Orioles have scored more than 3 runs, which is above the average they've scored over the past couple of games. Great, excellent. That sucks. That really sucks. All right, my friends, that's a big bummer right there, but welcome aboard again if you're just joining in. Sorry, folks, that was probably really loud clipping that mic up there. But yeah, we had to go deal with that camping situation of mine, where I thought I had forgotten the blanket in my car, but it is still there, and My friend that let me borrow it found it, so we're good to go. Smeltzer, I imagine, is out of this ball game because it looks like he's given up back-to-back jacks, Mancini and Mountcastle, and that is the productive part of the order for the Orioles doing their job. And that is a quick 3-rip ball game for the Orioles in the top half of the 6th. And yeah, right there, that's going to be offense for who? The Blue Jays? Sorry for the Rays as they hit a home run. Rosarena hits a 2-run home run. That really sucks. So the Blue Jays losing 2. Really not a good game at all. And oh yeah, well there you go. Yeah, so it's it is what it is right now for the Twins. That really sucks, my friends. That really sucks. However, Smeltzer is going to stay in. All right. So Smeltzer's staying in to face Santander. And that's man, Baldelli, man. He's love him and hate him. He makes some great decisions, and then he makes some boneheaded ones. And Smeltzer now giving up 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts, 5 innings pitched. And you're just inflating his ERA for absolutely no reason now. I think you give up 2 runs back-to-back in the top half of the 6th, going 3rd times through the order. In the modern day MLB, you got to get that pitcher out of there. And now up over a 3.09 ERA for, I mean, no reason, but hopefully he comes back and gets some outs. And he did, by the appearance, get Santander out of the inning, or out of the batting box. I don't know, possibly. Hold on, I'm all discombobulated now. Rutschman now got the ball in play on the 2nd pitch of the at-bat. Now Smeltzer down through 5 1/3 innings pitched. So that's, I guess, the end of the day, too. You'd like to see him just continue to pitch tonight and allow that ERA to settle down a little bit and get back below 3, because he was looking real good. He was in the 270s at one point in this ballgame, and it looks like it will be another out for Smeltzer, who gets Rutschman out. So the future is bright in Baltimore with Rutschman, but he will line out to first baseman Kirilloff instead in this at-bat, and that'll allow Nevin to step up to the dish, who is 1 for 2 with a strikeout so far. And I think as the Twins, you'd like to see Smeltzer get through Nevin and close out this inning instead of having to face Rougned Odor, who's got a home run in this ballgame, all solo shots. So for Smeltzer, 3 bad pitches, 3 home runs, and that's the ball game so far. But you'd like to see Smeltzer generate a little bit here, get through this ballgame 6th inning and really clutch up and just get the job done casually, if you're asking me. And then away you go into, well, technically, the bottom of the 6th, where hopefully you can put up some runs. And folks, we're still just barely holding on this live stream, but we're clutching up and getting the job done here for Clem. We've gotten him just over 0.7 of an hour, and it's the middle of the 6th. That's what you like to see. Nevin grounds out to Kirilloff unassisted, who gets the last 2 outs of the inning. And now Celestino, Arise, and Correa up to the dish for the Twins here in this bottom of the 6th inning. They haven't really had too much production, right? Obviously, yes, Nick Gordon got aboard, and that was nice and handy. There's been an error in the ball game, but those are your only 2 base runners so far if you're the Minnesota Twins. And if you're trying to win a ball game, you're going to have to step up and get some guys on base. That is for sure. Yeah, that's all it takes at this point, is you got to get up and get going here in this inning if you are the Minnesota Twins, because you don't want to leave it to last, and that's kind of where you're coming down to. Oh my goodness. Cat allergies at an all-time high after being outdoors for how many ever days in a row, 3-4 days in a row. Middle of the 6th, Celestino is Arise and Correa coming up to the dish. Nevin looking to make a change here in this ball game, grounded out in the top half of the 6th and the inning. And it'll be interesting to see if they send Wells out there to risk the good record like Smeltzer had going into the 6th, but Wells pitching 7 strikeouts, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit against, down to a 3.01 ERA and a chance to get into the 2s if he can get this job going here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. I don't know if he ends up trying to attempt it out there in the bottom of the sixth, and I don't know if the Baltimore Orioles will allow that, but it'd be interesting to see what ends up happening here, that's for sure. So we'll look to see what happens, but Celestino, Arraez, and Correa, if you're looking to have guys that have been batting good for you to try and turn things around here in this bottom half of the sixth, it's definitely these guys. Arraez needs some hits, man. The on-base percentage not too bad, but the average has dipped below 345, and you'd like to see him light it back up and get back into that, I don't know, 350 range if possible. He had such a hot start. He was doing so well. He pushed it up over 360. Yes, there's been some adjustments made against him, but you gotta hope that he can get going and get it lit up here towards the All-Star break and really solidify that All-Star contention vote for himself. Celestino now in a 2-ball count against Wells, and this would be the nice part. Just started off with a walk, right? For the Twins, they've had a hit. They have yet to have a walk in this ball game. You'd like to see them work the count a little bit against Wells to prevent him from going 7, even if he gets clean through the 6th. So that would be a decent thing to start off with if Celestino could come out and just get a walk right out of the gate. 3-0 comes to a 3-1 on a taken strike. So the green light was definitely not there for Celestino, because why would it be on a situation where you're looking to start the inning off right 3-0? And if you can take a walk right next out of the gate here, that's a big get for the Twins, who have Arraez, who, right, he is a sure shot single most of the time. 1 out of 3 times, more than 1 out of 3 times. And there you go, job's done. Celestino walks. That brings up Arraez, the lefty against the pitcher Wells, who's a righty. And there you go. Now all of a sudden, back-to-back innings, you've gotten runners on against Wells, and this is where you start getting productive, is getting people on, working the count, and making the pitcher come to you. And who better to do that than Luis Arraez, who has been stellar at that all season long. Carlos Correa waits on deck. You want your power. You want your guy that can give you the big blast. That's Carlos Correa, the big hit, whatever you want to say. And now 5 out of 6 pitches, that's what I was trying to say, this inning from Wells have been a ball. So this is a big get for the Twins, where all of a sudden you're making them work, making them throw to you around the zone, can't hit it to start the inning, and all of a sudden you got 2 guys that are capable of getting those walks up at the dish. One guy's already on. You got Arraez, who would love to just bump that on-base percentage up a little bit more if he could with a walk here or a hit. And that would be a huge get for the Twins here to have 2 men on and have Carlos Correa coming up to the dish. That is for sure right now. But for the Twins, you just got to get the job done. Got Smeltzer over 3.5 strikeouts. Jared, do I think they keep him in for another inning? Even if they keep him in for another inning, I highly doubt he gets that 4th strikeout. It is so rare in the time that I've watched the Twins this season that Devin Smeltzer even gets up to 3 strikeouts. So, I mean, I can't imagine what that bet is cashing you if he does, but that is a tough bet to take, in my opinion. And for Arraez, he's 3-0 in the count right now. So right there, Wells all of a sudden struggling with the command. You've got him throwing 8 pitches in this inning. 7 out of 8 of them have been for balls. He's walked 1 batter, gone 3-0 against the next. And that is a big yikes for Wells, who was at like a 69% strike ratio at one point in the 5th, and now down to 61% here in the bottom half of the 6th inning through 75 pitches. That's right. You're playing with fire against this Twins team, and that's what we wanted to see. We thought we were going to see it last inning. Didn't work out quite the right way, and now all of a sudden you got the best guys in your lineup coming up in this current lineup, the one playing today, and he's trying to get it done is Luis Arraez, who's been a very productive player for you. The on-base percentage has been almost better than the slugging most of the season, so if he could just keep enabling that to go on higher and higher, that wouldn't be too bad. Looks like ball 3 was missed by the ump, should have been strike 1, and I don't know if they're arguing balls and strikes right now because this live tracker isn't moving much, but it's one of those things where the Twins would definitely gladly take 2 runners on and get the job done. Here's taking strike 1 for a 3-1 count, and this is kind of how Wells did it last time, is ended up 3-1 against Celestino and then walked him on down to first base. And I'm sure Arraez would love to follow in his footsteps and get right up the line there to get this going to a 1-2 situation on the base paths, runner in scoring position for Carlos Correa, and 3 men possibly home on one swing of the bat to tie the ball game. There's a lot to like. And there you go. Instead, it's Luis Arraez doing what he does best, singling and getting a base hit. And there you go. He's aboard. And now you got runners at first and second, runner in scoring position. Carlos Correa, one swing away from potentially tying the ball game. Oh, don't forget Jorge Polanco's on deck. So the Twins, as long as Correa does not hit into a double play here, are in good shape for this inning. All of a sudden, Wells starting to choke it up a little bit. Second hit, first walk, and all of a sudden 2 hits and a walk in the past 3 outs. So this is a good get for the Twins if you're asking me. They're really starting to come on here in this 6th, working the count, making the pitcher come to them. All right, Arraez is a guy who you come to him, he's going to hit the ball for a single, guaranteed. That's what he does. That's his role on this ball team as the primary leadoff hitter, is to go out there and take pitches, hit balls into play, and get aboard. And I mean, there you go. That's what he did there. So now you got Carlos Correa, who would love to just ding one over the fence and get the job done against the Baltimore Orioles. 3-3 in the bottom half of the 6th. Get the Twins bullpen out there. See Tyler Duffy hopefully at some point to lower his ERA a little bit. And then up and away you go, as the Twins would love to keep the score moving in the 7th, 8th, and 9th and really get the job done. I guess you wouldn't have the 9th if you keep the score going in the 7th and the 8th, but that's not here nor there when you're still down 3-0 at current. So folks, welcome to the live stream. I'm Yak. Clem will not have a game review today. However, I'll carry you through. I'll get you all the key points of what you need to know for this ball game, because there's not really much. Both starting pitchers up until the 5th inning were really cranking it up. Smeltzer gave up 1, 2, 3 home runs, and that's it. That's all. 3-0 for the Orioles. Wells, though, all of a sudden, as soon as he starts giving up base runners, starts getting it going. And there you go. I had to curse it. Correa grounds into a double play that advances Celestino to third, but Arraez is out, and so is Correa. And now Polanco gets to hit. Same situation as Kirilov last inning. Runner at third, 2 away. And for Polanco, you can cut big into the lead with one swing of the bat, or you can cut 1 run into the lead and double and give Miranda a chance, the walk-off hero from last night, a chance to go out there and get you a hit and maybe a second run. I don't know. You're asking too much, I guess you could say, from me. So that's another point right there, is it could be a little bit too much to ask for these Minnesota Twins today after winning 2 via a walk-off. But you never know if you're asking too much until you either get it or don't get it. And that's typically a don't get it situation, is what the Twins have been giving me so far this little bit. So we will see Polanco swing at a strike for strike 1. So Wells will go out and try to just regroup, and you know what? Yes, a hit, a walk, runners at first and second, nobody out, and then gets out of the inning magically. That's not a bad outing. But you know, Polanco, now that he's back full-time in the lineup after being out there for a while, he'd like to start being a regular contributing member again. At one point, leading this team in RBIs, and he'd love if he could get back to that, that's for sure. And for the Twins, that would be a big factor if you get Polanco batting .255, hitting a couple more home runs a month, right? Like 2 extra home runs a month based over his average so far this month, hitting in a couple of 5 extra batters a month the rest of the way, and suddenly there you go. You've got yourself a recipe for success. But it's just one of those things. The Twins right now, everybody in the lineup, this lineup is so capable, right? We know that. Start to finish, this lineup is capable of producing runs. And whether it be the home run guys, the double guys, the single guys, the walk guys, whatever you want to say, the guys that get on or the guys that get you home, they have just been a tick below what they're capable of, is what I'm saying. And if they could just go up 1 tick and do what they're normally capable of doing, this Twins lineup is all of a sudden exploding and goes from 9 games above 500 to 15, 16 games above 500. Division stranglehold by the end of July, and you, my friend, are looking at a good time going into the trade deadline as a Twins fan. That's where I'm sitting at this, right? This is where I'm thinking on. But for the Twins, it's one of those things, you can't lose a game to the Baltimore Orioles when you're on a 2-game winning streak to start the month if you want to be that team. And that's what I said. You got to come out of the gate here early in this month and win 5 or 6 in a row. Heck, you know what? 5 out of 6 wouldn't even be bad. But right now, you got to go and start the streak right now. Get it to at least 4, right? Go win this game, win the next one. Then you can sit back and reevaluate what happens in Game 5. But you got to go out there and win as many games as possible in July and really be an impactful team. You've got the division lead back. You choked it a little while ago, but now the Twins looking to solidify their division lead once again. You're back up to 3. If you could get it against the Guardians here this month, you'd be good to go. And right, the Guardians currently in the top of the 8th, down up 1-0 on the New York Yankees. So they're not going to do you any favors. You know that. They're a very good ball team. They're very good at what they do. So just simply put, go out there and please win yourself a couple of ball games. And it looks like Jose Miranda has scored it is Carlos Correa or Polanco. Polanco scoring the first run of the ball game for the Minnesota Twins as he singles to right and Celestino scores. Miranda will come up with a chance to tie the ball game with one swing of the bat, or just simply put, advance a runner to first and third or second and third with a double and get Max Kepler up to the dish to cash in a couple of runs, right? This Twins lineup, you start doing the right things and they're going to be just dandy. And Polanco goes out there and gets another RBI on the season. You like to see that. That's exactly what we're talking about. He just needs to cash in a couple more runs per game and we will be just fine. That's Polanco's 38th RBI. So he's actually been very productive in the time I've been camping. My pardon. Nick Gordon gets his 7th double of the season, and there you go, right? The Twins, there you go. You got a base runner, you got a run, you got a couple of hits, and you're good to go. And now Jose Miranda, you would love to see him go up there and just hit a ball into play, hit it hard on the ground, hit it hard in the air, whatever, and just try and get that runner as far to the home, as close, to home plate as possible in Polanco. Kepler waits on deck. Get on base, get a runner moved ahead, and you should be fine to have a good big inning here, right? The Orioles just had theirs in the top half of the 6th. So if you're the Twins, you want your big inning to be here in the bottom half of the 6th. Match it, repeat, clean it up in the 7th, and go out there and destroy in the bottom half. Simply put, that's the best case scenario. But for the Twins right now, they got to go out there and get the job done. That's what it comes down to, is just go up there and get the job done. And that's where the Twins have kind of been struggling over the past little bit, is just that little bit of get to it and get the job done. But, right, 2 walk-offs, maybe not necessarily struggling the past couple games, and the Orioles the perfect team not to struggle against. So you'd love to see them really get into the spirit here and win 3 in a row against the Orioles and really get the job going. And that would make my life on the post-game with Yak much easier, that's for sure. However, Miranda will fly out to the left fielder Hayes, and that, my friends, will do it for the bottom half of the 6th inning. So the Twins do, however, answer back, and that's a big get. But, right, Jorge Polanco now batting .243 on the season. Not too bad at all. A rise back to .345. Nick Gordon up to .266, and I don't think any of us had Nick Gordon as the 3rd best batting average in the Twins lineup right now, but he currently is at .266 on the season. Odor, McKenna, and Martin due up for the Orioles here in the top half of the 7th inning. And you want to go over to the Twins a little bit here. I'll give you a little insight on what I know about the Twins as they are going on, right? Buxton's got 21 home runs on the season. You'd love to see him at the home run derby. Joe Ryan's up to 60 strikeouts and 6 wins. That's great, but you'd love to see things kind of get going here for the Twins, who right now, right, they are sitting on this 3-game series against the Orioles, waiting for a result today to see if it's a sweep or a series win. And then they'll play the White Sox for 3 at Chicago, right? So if you could go out there and win 2 out of 3, all of a sudden 5 out of 6, and you're looking pretty good. Then you go to Texas for 3. Then you play Milwaukee for 2. You play the White Sox again. Then you play the Tigers, and then you go all NL with the Milwaukee Brewers and San Diego Padres to close out the season. Now, I wonder if there's anyone on those 2 teams that the Twins could target while they're there, pick them up on the airplane, and bring them back to Minnesota via trade. But you got 22 games, the least amount of games you're going to play in a month, other than maybe in October where you only got 5. But now is the time to make it up, and if you can go even 17-5, 16-6, you're going to be very well off by the end of the month. That is for sure. So for the Twins, what that means is not dropping bad games against the Orioles right here, right now. So give me a minute while there's a pitching change more than likely going on. I'm going to head upstairs, make myself a tea, and I will be back down to resume the top half of the 7th here in just moments time, folks. And again, sorry for the hard knocks on the mic. I apologize for that. I'm a clown. All right. Oh. Need my cup. Alright folks, sorry, my apologies here. A little quicker trip would have been needed there, but we're back. And it looks like the Twins find themselves done this top half of the seventh. There you go. You gave up a runner to second, but you end up getting out of the inning unscathed. And the Twins, there you go. You're rocking, you're rolling, and you're climbing up back into this ball game, hopefully, as we go into the bottom half of the seventh inning. Kepler, Gordon, and Sanchez due up for the Twins here in the bottom half of the seventh inning as Kepler 0 for 2. Gordon with the double in this ballgame, his 7th of the season, up to a .262 batting average. And then, yeah, Gary Sanchez 0 for 2. But again, the recipe would be Kepler singles, Gordon doubles, Sanchez homers, and away you go. We've kind of ran this couple of rotations through the same inning a couple of times here for the Twins and other team there, the Baltimore Orioles. So you'd like to, you'd like to see things definitely change up here for the Twins as they go into this bottom half of the seventh inning where, right, Hayes strikes out to end the inning. So was that actually, hold on, pardon me, who was pitching for the Twins? It was Manaea. Okay, Manaea comes out. Oh my goodness, Manea's back. ERA is 6.23. Yikes, good thing he had a clean inning. That's a big help for him. So Smeltzer done after 6, a line of 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, a .304 ERA on the season as he leaves the game. And Wells, well, I'd expect to still see him. I'd probably expect to still see Wells come out of the bullpen here and clutch up for the Orioles one more inning, hopefully give up 2 home runs and be chased from the game, but you just never know at this point exactly what's going to happen when you get pitchers in the modern MLB late into a ball game. So for the Twins, you hope it comes up good. You don't want to see things go awry, I guess you could say, more or less, and that's kind of what could set up here for the Twins if all of a sudden their bullpen starts failing up a little bit. And that would be a little bit of a disaster, that's for sure. But I think the Twins will be just fine here if they can score some runs here in this bottom half of the seventh inning, that is for sure. And folks, thank you to whoever clicked over to check out Clem's video from earlier today or earlier last night where he was talking all about the victory for the Minnesota Twins via the walk-off the other game. So folks, here we go. Let's get this bottom half of the seventh inning going here. Some point, I think the Baltimore Orioles might be making a pitching change, just like I surmised last inning when I decided to go out there and take my break. And it's funny, actually, we've gained more views in the past few minutes that I took my break and have been down here talking to you, waiting for this bottom half of the seventh to resume than we did at all throughout the rest of the inning. So that's an interesting get, folks. I am a big numbers guy. Give me nerd numbers and I will run with them all day, let me tell you. So that's kind of my only drawback, is I very much so hyper focus on the numbers, and Clem gets very angry at me when I do. It is what it is. Bottom of the 8th for the Cleveland Guardians, who are home to the New York Yankees, up 1-0. So the Yankees are going to need a big top half if they want to get out with a victory. And for the Blue Jays, that would suck. But for the Twins, that would be a major get for the Twins if the Yankees could hold on and defeat the Cleveland Guardians. That would be big because the Yankees just straight up haven't lost many games this season. Don't know if that's changed in the past week, but it would be a big get, that is for sure, if we could hold on and see the Yankees win over the Cleveland Guardians today. So that's where we sit, just waiting for this ball game once again to resume. It looks like I said, there must be a pitching change happening here, as well as looking to exit after 6 innings of pitching. But this game, I guess 7-inning stretch. Hello, Tyson. Do you know baseball? Probably not. Oh, get with the program, Yak. However, Keegan Aiken will come out of the bullpen. So there you go. That is surmised as well that it is the 7-inning stretch and there was a pitching change. So Kepler will face Aiken, who is a lefty. Kepler immediately falls back. The first pitch, dead center cut on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Aiken, not a great pitcher by any stretch of the imagination, but he'd like to have a great outing here against the Twins. I mean, he's pitching a .235 ERA, so maybe not as bad as I thought he was, but hopefully for the Twins, he can be beat up a little bit here and get the job done a little bit. That'd be real nice if you're a Twins fan to see them beat up on the lesser than Baltimore Orioles bullpen. But Kepler lines straight out to Santander out there and right. So that's your first out of the bottom of the seventh, and Aiken right there. All of a sudden, Mowen, players down right on the bullpen. A couple pitches in, he gets himself an out, and the race is 0.02 of his ERA, down to 2.33 on the season now. And Nick Gordon steps up to the plate with Gary Sanchez behind him. And you know what Nick Gordon's task is here? Same as it was last time. Get on base, any means necessary. A double would be nice, but let Gary Sanchez bat with a runner on, less than 2 outs, and hopefully get a result. However, it's going to be Kyle Garlick who comes in to bat for the Minnesota Twins. This guy batting .274, 6 homers, and 15 RBIs on the season, and he's going to have the matchup advantage against Aiken, who cannot be taken out for yet 2 more batters, Garlick and Sanchez, or whoever pinch hits for Gary Sanchez, if that's a thing. However, right now, the Twins trying to go with the matchup advantage, get a guy who's been batting hot, take out the lefty Gordon for the righty Garlick, and hopefully come up with a matchup advantage that can help you in winning this ball game. And for Garlick, he's immediately 1-1 against Aiken, and that would be a big get if he could get aboard and allow Sanchez to do what he does best. But I mean, Garlick's also a guy in limited playing time who's had quite a few home runs, 6 home runs, like I said. So the more you allow this guy to be a power guy, maybe the better off you're going to be in this situation. I mean, 3-2 sounds a lot better than 3-1 with a runner at first and 1 out with Gary Sanchez at the dish. Typically it does. I think that does. But for the Twins, I think they'll just take anybody being productive at this point. That's kind of where I'd go with it. And oh, by the way, we got the NHL Draft coming up on Thursday. That's a big get as well for the NHL and all the NHL teams now that the Stanley Cup playoffs are up and over with. The count is 3-1 to Garlick, who finds himself doing exactly what he should be. Coming out of the dugout, looking to take pitches, make Aiken work, and make him earn either getting him out or letting him on. And that's kind of the fun part here, is it would be nice to see Kyle Garlick go out there and get the job done. And I guess, too, Garlick will single. There you go. Let's go, baby. That's what we want to see. Kyle Garlick singles and will get aboard to first with Gary Sanchez. Gary Sanchez coming up. That is good to see. That is for sure. Gary Sanchez would love to do some damage against Aiken here. Lefty on righty matchup. Can't take Aiken out of the inning yet. Still has to at least mow down Sanchez, and Kirilov's on deck. So, there's a little bit of rattling that you could do against the Orioles here. The bullpen, like I said, maybe all you need to do is get a run or two against Wells, get into the bullpen, and make them blow it. And this is where the Twins are looking to do their damage, as Sanchez comes up to the dish with a runner on first, 1 out, and down by 2. Down by 2. The old Pirates mentality, down by 2. And it would be nice, absolutely nice, to see Gary Sanchez do something in this game. Currently 0 for 2 himself. Aiken's 1 out into the inning and 1 hit surrendered. And Sanchez will do exactly what Kepler did. Line out to an outfielder, this time to the pull field. Hayes sitting there in left field. And that'll bring up Kirilov to face Aiken. Obviously a lefty in Kirilov, so unless you're looking for lefty on lefty crimes, all you're looking for Kirilov to do is somehow, some way get on base and get the job done here, and hopefully bring you home a couple of runs in the form of Garlick and Kirilov on base with Celestino behind him. And I think you'll see Byron Buxton bat for Celestino should Kirilov get aboard. See, this is where you're going, right? Now all of a sudden the Twins, Baldelli started getting into the bench. And I would not be shocked to see, especially knowing that you would still probably, if you get a couple guys on the rest of the way home, have Buxton come up in a big spot some point in the bottom half of the 9th inning. You see where we're going? There's a little bit of production here in Tyson's brain today. Yak's got the thoughts going on about baseball after going out tripping and sleeping on the ground for 3 weeks. 3 days, felt like 3 weeks. But now you got a chance here. Kirilov's in a 2-0 count. And maybe that's just what you want to see. Kirilov take a walk, make Aiken walk you, and then bing, bang, boom, bring up Byron Buxton, and away you go in this inning. That could be quite a recipe for success if you're asking me, but right now that is still far-reaching, almost asking too much at this point. However, Kirilloff will indeed take the walk, so there you go. You got what you wanted. And now with Arise sitting on deck, I assume Celestino will be pinch hit for Byron Buxton. Now, that was only what the Twins have done the majority of the season so far, with Baldelli doing what he's doing, so that'd be nice to see, that is for sure. And yeah, it would be a big get, that is for sure. So where are we sitting? Let's go back to the ball game here. Celestino looks like he is getting pinch hit for, that's what I believe, but right now he's still in that lineup card here on the live tracker on sportsnet.ca. I know I should probably use the ESPN live tracker, but it's clunky to me, whereas this one's nice, free flowing, and does its thing. So it is scheduled to be Celestino against Aiken, but they could also be taking Aiken out, because no matter what, he's going to be facing a righty. So you've already gone the minimum, right? You got Sanchez, Kirilloff came and got aboard, so now you're going to be sitting on a situation where you're facing a right-handed batter. You can bring in a right-handed pitcher, so there's a lot of potential changes coming up here in this 7th inning for both the Twins and Orioles. So that would be a big situation here for them as well. Boom. Nothing's happening here. Something about NHL rumors. Of course, running a YouTube channel that's dedicated to the Oilers, you got to pay attention to that stuff too. But it is a pitching change. The Orioles are looking to take Aiken out. Celestino waits in and around the plate, but it's again the thing. I believe you are going to see Byron Buxton come to the dish, unless they really have faith in an 0-for-1 Celestino to be the difference maker. Buxton had the walk-off homer 2 nights ago. You'd like to see him play hero yet again tonight, and a big hit here from Buxton would certainly go a long way to hopefully winning 3 in a row to start July and really get the Twins going in that direction they need to get going. And obviously too, if you can have your biggest bat doing that job for you, it's always going to help bolster the fans and really get the job done. So you'd like to see it happen. Will we see it happen? That is the only debatable part here. You're not 100% sure if you are or aren't going to see it happen. But folks, Yak's a little nervous over here if you can't tell, because this is normally where things get a little sketchy if you're asking me. I hate the late innings, because the Twins so far in the late innings I've streamed have not really come up with good results. But that's okay. We'll get it going. It's right now Celestino waiting on deck for a pitcher to come out of the pen and get the job going. See, the live tracker doesn't tell me who's warming up on the mound. It just tells me who starts pitching. So that's the only hard part about this, is I'm not 100% sure who's going to come out of the bullpen for the Orioles. I don't even know who they have in their bullpen, to be honest with you. But Aiken can't get the job done. Not that he cost the Orioles at this point. He did get 2 outs, allowed 2 men on, no runs. But now he's got to try and just get out of this this problem right now. So you never know what's going to happen here, but hopefully for the Twins it's a good result. That's, I guess, all I can ask for, is for the Twins, give me a good result, and then we'll be good and good to go. Currently now 77 views in the last hour and 20 minutes. Thanks guys for that. That's really appreciated. And so far a decent little day here on YouTube on a Sunday, holiday Sunday almost you could call it, for the United States of America. And it's Krebel who will come out of the bullpen for the Baltimore Orioles. He is pitching against Celestino, so it is in fact Celestino who will remain in the game for the Minnesota Twins. I thought for sure Buxton would come in, but having to go to the right-handed batter, Celestino against right-handed pitcher, might not be the worst matchup you can have. Celestino, right? He's batting a lot better than Buxton in terms of average this season, so keep that in mind as well. Bottom of the 7th, 2 out, 2 on for Celestino, who's in a 1-1 count against Crabel. Crabeel? I don't know how to say that. Somebody, if you're tuning in from the Baltimore Orioles side of things, let me know, because that would be an interesting get, that's for sure. But Crabel there against Celestino with 2 on is a big situation, because you load up the bases, and Celestino has a 2-1 count for him. You load up the bases, that brings up Luis Arraez, who is almost guaranteed to score 1, if not 2 runs in this inning, because he's guaranteed to get on 1 of 3 times, and you're rolling the dice on this at bat. But it's Celestino who grounds out to shortstop, and that is it. That is all she wrote in this 7th inning. The Twins yet again fail to convert on an opportunity, and that is it. That is it. That is all for the Twins in the 7th, so that really sucks. Wow, that is a really tough get, because you'd love to see the Twins win this game. Like I said, go 3-0 to start the month. That would be such an amazing get if you're a Twins fan, right? Just to see this team go out there and win several games in a row to start the month. That would be just a massive get. And right now they are on the verge of not allowing that to happen, down 3-1 to the Orioles. And you gotta hope that the Twins can be a team that finds a way again in a walk-off fashion, hopefully, if at all, in the bottom half of the 9th to get the job done against the Orioles. They've done it 2 days in a row. Why not do it 3 to win 3 in a row? That could make sense, but again, for the Twins, sometimes the things they do don't make sense. So that's another situation you find yourself in, asking, could the Twins do it, or could the Twins not do it? But let me get the shareable link here for you, as we'll Clem's review of Buxton's walk-off is now in the chat if you want to see that. Give me a sec, I gotta type. Boom, there you go. You can watch that one if you want, in between the times where I go quiet, just trying to fill the void of lack of content for you. Yeah, okay, that would have been interesting to have that video go up, but instead I wasted Clem's time on that. I feel very bad about that, but sometimes just is what it is in the world of production and video production, so that kind of sucks. But we'll manage, and we'll be just fine here heading to the top of the 8th, where Manaea continues to be out there to pitch against Mancini, who is one of 3 guys with a home run in this ballgame. It's Mancini, Mountcastle, and Odor who have the home runs for the Baltimore Orioles, all 3 of them solos, that have gotten the job done and put them up 3-0. So that's kind of tough. If you're the Minnesota Twins, Smeltzer comes out in the 5th and 6th, and bing, 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 gives up 3 home runs and a couple of batters, and that's it. That's all. That's really tough. Oh well, what do you do? Manaea, Mancini. That's the matchup you focus on. Manaea's been solid so far, really throwing some pitches for strikes, 9 strikes out of 12 pitches so far, so he's been a 75% ratio throwing those strikes for pitches. He was at like a 90% effective rate before throwing a couple of pitches there for a ball, but it is what it is, as he's been a pretty stellar pitcher in this ball game for us, right? He's gotten the job done in 1 inning clean, going into a 2nd inning looking to knock it off, so as the Twins can go into the bottom of the 8th, maybe get themselves up, get a save situation, and then not have to worry about walking it off. Save situation would be much, much more fun if you're the Minnesota Twins, but right now Mancini doing his best to load up the count against Manaea and really work into a situation where, well, now you're in a situation you got to really push the envelope if you're Manaea, get him out, and hopefully get into Mountcastle, and he does. Mancini strikes out, so Manaea through an inning in the 3rd, 2 strikeouts and a hit against. He did have a man up to 2nd base at one point last inning, so it would be interesting to see here if they can get the job done. Wow. All right. But let's get this going. We're moving along here in this ball game, that is for sure. We are almost done. It's been an interesting afternoon, folks. We just crossed an hour watched on the live stream. Thank you so much to everybody who's tuned in. I'll go grab my phone for the rest of it and tune in personally on my device so as I can chat with you on my phone instead of having to do it here on the message back end of stuff and pretend I'm Clem. Yak doesn't get to pretend he's Clem very often, but when he does, it's a little bit of a mess, and you see that very well. Mountcastle now in a 2-1 count against Manea, who's still pitching very effectively through an inning and a third. He'd like to continue that for 2 more batters, get the job done, let the Twins score 3 runs, get up 4-3, and close this one out in the top half of the 9th inning. No walk-off today either way, right? Either way, you're losing in the bottom of the 9th, or you're winning in the top half of the 9th. We are not talking about a walk-off today because I don't want to leave it to that. If we have to leave it to that, it is what it is, but I don't want to leave it there, so let's not even start really worrying about that right now. Let's try and just get this job done here right now against these guys at the plate, facing Manea, Mountcastle, and Santander. Manea would love to really lower that ERA a little bit more too. He's been a stellar candidate to be worst ERA on the team here for a little bit, and now all of a sudden down to a 6.0 ERA. So you know what a clean 2 innings would do for that ERA for Manea. Get him into the respectable 5 territory, right? If you're in the bullpen, Twins bullpen, 5 earned runs against average, that's really not a bad place to be. It's those guys at the back end of the pen that have that 7-8-6 number that's really killing us. And right, if you start having those guys pitching effective and the other guys continue to be that 3-2 situation, you're going to be just fine. And right now, it'll be Manea getting a back-to-back strikeout victim situation where he gets Mountcastle to strike out. That's 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3. And now Manea all of a sudden chewing up the Baltimore Orioles here in the top half of the 8th. You like to see that very, very much. That's a huge get for us. So it's a good go there. And, yeah. For the Twins, it'll be Santander batting right-handed against Manea. Taking strike 1 and top half of the 8th inning. Almost done here, hopefully, if you're the Twins. You'd love to see Manea close it out and really get this job done through 2 innings clean, and then send you with 2 chances versus the Orioles, 1 chance to really win this game. And there you go. Manea in 2 batters lowers his ERA from 6.23 to 5.79. Right, this guy's struggling a little bit out of the pen early, but now all of a sudden a clean little outing here, really getting that ERA going down, down, down. And just in 2 batters, you've lowered your ERA almost by 50 points. That's going to be effective, and that's where you want to see, right? The guys that have gotten blown up, start eating into that. Tyler Duffy started that about 2-3 weeks ago. Now, if Manea can start doing that right here, right now, that'd be great and dandy. And especially at a time when the Twins need guys like that to get that going, that's for sure. You need to get it rolling, and that's what the Twins have started doing here recently. And it'd be gorgeous if the Twins could win another ball game today, because it looks like, my friends, in the top half of the 9th, the Guardians are up 2-0 on the Yankees, so the Guardians kind of choked their situation there. And of course, for the Twins, when it comes down to it, the roster says what it says in terms of ERA. And in terms of ERA, you've got some guys going out there pitching well, but you got Yainer Cano there at 9.26, Cole Sands 8.82. Manea started today at 7.04, and then you've got Thielbar at 5.65. So really, of the guys that have been consistently in the bullpen for more than 3 games this season, Manea is the worst ERA in this situation, but could have a chance to go down below Thielbar in a chance right here. So that's where you're looking if you're a Twins fan, and he gets it done. Santander flies out to center fielder Celestino. That's the middle of the 8, and there you are. That is what you want to see. The Twins get the job done. That allows Mr. Manea to hopefully bring down his ERA down all the way to 5.59. Yeah, baby, that's a big get. So he passes Thielbar, and now Pagan there at 5.06, right? Pagan's really struggled, blowing 5 saves this season. He's really gotten tagged around the past little bit. Dylan Bundy's up to a 4.7 ERA, but he's been lowering that day by day by day. He's really been pitching a lot more effectively recently. Tyler Duffy's down to a 4.65. It's not long ago he was at like 5.89. You've got Chris Paddock, it's 4.03, but I think he's on the shelf. Bailey Ober's at 4.01. Cody Stashik's down at 3.86. Yohan Romero's at 3.60. Tyler Thornburg's at 3.32. Jarrell Cotton's down there at 3.18. And then you really get into the guys that have been effective. Archer, Winder, you've got Ryan, you've got Smeltzer, Smith, Griffin Jacks, Sonny Gray, Trevor Megill, Yon Duran, who's at a 2.06 in 35 innings pitched. Danny Colombe, who's at 1.46, but I think he's done for the year. And Giovanni Moran, who's down to 1.32 in 13 innings pitched. That's not bad. We're rocking, we're rolling. All right, the Twins haven't been as bad lately, but you'd like to see them really clutch up here in this ball game and just surrender 3 runs. That's it, and really make things get going, and then hopefully win a ball game as well. As now Arise, top of the order, out here to do the damage. Kribel and Arise will duel here. Arise batting left. He is DHing today. And in the bottom of the 8th, the Twins need 2 at least to try and tie this one up so they can really just 1 run blast it off in the 9th. And instead it's Arise who lines out to left fielder Hayes on, I'm sure what was from Arise, just that little lining looper that he does so well batting left-handed against right-handed pitching. So that'll bring up Carlos Correa, who's trying to do nothing more than get on base and be a productive member of the batting lineup here for the Minnesota Twins, as he'd love to hopefully help the Twins just be a big winning factor in this ball game, that's for sure. And folks, we are crushing the hour. We're up over 37 views this hour. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for hanging around. It's been my pleasure to have the ball game for you since the bottom of the 4th inning, and now we're in the bottom of the 8th, almost done. And then we'll just roll into the post-game show and get the job done here in this afternoon, Sunday afternoon, July 3rd, Independence Day tomorrow. We've just had Canada Day up here on Friday. It was a good time, nice and rainy day and miserable, and terrible weekend sleeping on the ground, but what do you do? If you're Carlos Correa, you take ball 1, then ball 2, and hopefully tag up Kribel here a little bit for a couple of runs. Hopefully, Polanco's waiting on deck. The only RBI of the game so far off the bat of Jorge Polanco. So you'd like to see him maybe come in, jack one over the fence, get up over 40 RBIs on the season, and really start being an impact leader on this ball team. That could be an interesting situation there as well. But right now, as we're currently sitting for the Twins, you'd like to just see guys get on base and get the job done. Take and strike ball 1 or ball 3 before taking strike 1. So Correa looking to do what a couple of guys have already done this game, take a walk, right? And it took till the 6th inning for the Twins to get a walk, and now all of a sudden they got a couple of walks here in the past couple innings, and they got a runner at first, and Polanco on the right-hand batting box, and Miranda stands behind him playing third base today, so you'd like to see it. Here's the chance. Here's what you're looking for as a Twins fan. Get in there, get the job done if you're the Minnesota Twins, and this is your time to shine. 1 out, Arise is out, you got a runner at first, Polanco at the dish. This is the time to do it here. That is for sure, if you can get the job done. And right now we're up to 1.2 hours watched on the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thank you so much for choosing Clemhawks to be your destination for today's ball game. It's been my pleasure to have you along. Wish we would have started a little earlier. Didn't get home until the 3rd inning though, so this is what it is. Heck, I haven't showered since Thursday. I've been out camping, stinking it up with the smoke, and I chose to stream before showering, so feel lucky. You didn't need to know that. That was TMI, but that's okay. Jorge Polanco takes strike number 1. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out, and a runner at first, down by 2. Down by 2, boys. Go out there. bloop and a blast and you tie this ball game. How about a free pass and a blast and you tie this ball game? That's another thing right there that you could do. And that's what the Twins are looking for here, is now all of a sudden Polanco's got himself in a 2-1 count. How about a free pass and a home run? That wouldn't be bad to take the lead 4-3. Like I said, I don't want to walk it off. I just want to win it after the top half of the ninth. And that's an effective way to do it, is scoring some runs here in the bottom of the eighth if you are the Minnesota Twins. That would be the good way to do it if you're the Minnesota Twins. And right now, of course, like I said, the RBI leaders right now, Buxton's at 38, Polanco's at 37. Polanco's now at 38 on the season. Kepler, Sanchez, and Urshela all in the 30s. And on base percentage, it is ridiculous. Luis Arraez at a 422 OBP this season, taking strike 2 for Polanco against Kribel. And both players looking to be an impact situation in this at bat for their team. Folks, we are gaining a couple of seconds on the live stream. Thank you again to anyone that's tuning in and being a part of this live stream, as we're nearing the end this afternoon. 3-1 for the Orioles over the Minnesota Twins here in the bottom of the eighth. Polanco fouls one back. There you go. He's looking to keep this one alive here as long as possible. And for the Twins, I just want to see what's happened here. So Miguel got sent to the minors yesterday. Thornburg got designated for assignment. Okay, Winder was down and up and down and up. And looks like Jorge Polanco was reinstated on the 28th. Okay. Joe Smith was placed on the 15-day DL. Trevor Larnach was placed on the 10-day DL. And all right, so that's where we're sitting. A couple of guys moving, and are moving. Okay, is what it is. Braden Bishop all the way back on there. We already talked about him. Okay, cool. We're good, we're gold, we're great. Polanco's got the ball in play. And he is looking to get this job going somewhere, as Miranda would love to come up with runners in scoring position. That's all I'm going to say. But I'd love to see this ball game be a tied ball game if possible. That'd be really nifty for Jorge Polanco if he could smack one out of the park against Kribel here. And instead it will be the second out of the inning for the Minnesota Twins, as it's a grounding to a fielder's choice. Second baseman Nevin to third baseman somebody, so they must have the shift on against Polanco? Sure. We'll go with it. I guess he would have been, I think Polanco's a switch hitter, so that's where we'll go with that. And we'll rock and we'll roll. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Jose Miranda now with a runner at first base and 2 out. So this has been the Twins' last like 3 innings. 2 out and a man on, 2 out and a man on, 2 out and a man on, and done and dusted, choking it every time. So that's all right. We'll figure it out. So Miranda with Max Kepler waiting on deck, looking to be a hero here. Get on. Get 2 guys on. That's all we're asking, man. That's all we're asking. Instead, he grounds out to Rougned Odor, to first baseman Ryan Mountcastle, and that is the end of the 8th. So once again, the Twins are going to have to do it in walk-off fashion should they want to win this afternoon's ball game against the Baltimore Orioles. What a theme this Orioles series has become for the Minnesota Twins. You want to win it, you got to walk it off, and that's exactly what the Twins have done 2 out of 3 games, and a chance to do it yet again here this afternoon against the Baltimore Orioles. The stream now up to 69 views. Again, thank you folks for tuning in and enjoying this evening and this afternoon wherever you're tuning in from. With me, I'm Yak. This is Clemhawks. A little bit about the channel as things pick up here on the stream. We are looking to get back to 4,000 watch hours on the channel in the past year, so as my man Clem can get remonetized here on YouTube. As any starving college student would know, you can never turn down free money, and if we can make a little bit of money here talking about the Minnesota Twins, it would not be a bad thing for a future that is looking bright in the broadcast industry for my man Clem. However, as it currently sits, we're about 1,650 hours past or before the target. So if we do some math here, 71 times 1.1 pardon me, is 78.1. Divide that by 60. That is 1.3 hours we've added to the target here today in today's live stream. Not as productive of a live stream as typical, but we are not going to complain too much. We'll take what we can get here on Clemhawks. Just trying to revive a channel that last did Minnesota Twins coverage all the way back in 2019, and a lot has happened in the world since then. So we're sitting here right now just waiting to watch the result of this ninth inning and hopefully get ourselves going in what will be a very important ninth inning for the Minnesota Twins. But again, I keep bringing it up, but your support is greatly appreciated. And the other thing too that we're struggling with is getting folks to tune into the post games most days. But if you have a little extra time following to today's game, consider subscribing to Clemhawks. If I can ask that much of you, I don't know if I can yet. But consider subscribing, sticking around, and checking out my post game that I'll have up. Clem may have a review of today's NASCAR race for you. Clem also a huge NASCAR fan. Go figure, a Midwest guy that likes Minnesota Twins baseball and NASCAR. Quite a combination right there. That is the American dream, if I'm not being too politically incorrect on that one. So folks, the bottom of the eighth has ended. Jose Miranda grounded out. Rutschman, Nevin, and Odor will step up to the plate for the Baltimore Orioles. They will probably face, I'm going to assume, Tyler Duffy coming out of the pen for the Twins, but you never know who's coming out of the Twin for the Pens. Maybe it could be Manaea for a third straight inning, who has lowered his ERA after being up in the 7.0s down to 5.59 here in the span of nothing. And instead, it is going to be Giovanni Moran, who's going to come out without 1.32 ERA here on the season, and he would love to see the Twins give him a win. It's Moran in for Manaea, and Rutschman is in a 1-1 count right out of the gate, top of the ninth. Down by 2 are the Twins, looking to keep this one clean and get into the bottom half, then walk it off for the third game in a row against the Baltimore Orioles and maybe sweep them here. I know that's asking a little bit too much, but you can never ask too much with the Minnesota Twins because they as a team are very capable of winning some very important ball games. And my friends, when Yak says something's important, it usually is. As Rutschman here is an important get, and this game is an important get to win 3 in a row to start July. That would be a big, big get. So top of the ninth, Rutschman the target to begin this inning for Moran, who is one of, if not the best pitchers out of the bullpen for the Twins right now with that .32 ERA. He has been great, quite honestly with you. So that's where you'd like to see him continue his work here in this season so far, right? When you talk about it, you go down to pitchers here and you go all the way over here and you look at ERA. That's a big getter. Jorge Alcala is down there with 2.1 innings pitched, but no runs. But Giovanni Moran, the only guy with more than 10 innings pitched with a .32 ERA. So for him, we'd love to see that continue. However, Adley Rutschman putting up an at bat, and again, this is the future of baseball right here in Rutschman. So hopefully for the Orioles, he turns out. But right now for the Twins, you're hoping he does not turn out or turn up in this top half of the ninth. You would love to get into that bottom of the ninth, down by 2 and a chance to get the job done. And that's exactly what Moran does. He gets the job done against Rutschman, gets the out, and all of a sudden, there you go. You've got the first out of the top of the ninth. And oh, by the way, Moran's ERA goes below a .30 down to a .29, and now Nevin comes up. So Moran could be at a .25 ERA by the end of this inning. Wouldn't that be a little special there? Don't think we'd mind that much, if at all, as a Twins fan myself. So we're currently waiting for this next batter. Rougned Odor on deck. Nevin waiting to figure something out here. Nevin batting right against the lefty Moran. And a swinging strike and a foul ball will get it back to an 0-2 count. So Moran coming to the bullpen, pitching effectively here. He's already gotten an out, and he's looking for yet another. He got the strikeout of Rutschman, and now he's looking for the strikeout of Nevin. And wouldn't that be something? 3 up, 3 down, 3 struck out, and away you go if you're Moran right out of the gate. That would be a big get, and it's ball 1 to Nevin, however. So trying to work quick, but ends up throwing a ball, 60-40 ball strike ratio. Not having a bad time out there if you're Giovanni Moran. I knew that was happening. Ooh, did not drink enough coffee. However, Nevin will pop up to Garlick out there in left field. So right there, right away, you got 2 outs if you're Giovanni Moran, and this is exactly what this guy does. He gets out and doesn't give up runs. He's been pretty effective. He's had 6 hits against in 13 2/3 innings pitched, 8 walks. So now in 14.1, his whip's below 1.0. His average is below $125. So he is a very effective weapon out of your bullpen. And for the Minnesota Twins, he's in a pivotal spot here, trying to not give up any more than they already have, trying to just get this inning over with so as the Twins can walk themselves into this bottom of the 9th, looking for a 3rd straight walk-off win to begin July. Wouldn't that be a get if you're the Minnesota Twins? And oh baby, I would love to do that game review. Twins about to walk it off for a 3rd game in a row. So let's message Clem, get him all hyped up. Maybe he'll turn his attention over to this Twins game. Highly doubt it. He's watching the NASCAR race, even though he said it sucks today. But first, Moran's got to get out of this inning against Odor, who was the first run of the ball game with a big old blast against Devin Smeltzer. The first guy to tag either pitcher in this ball game. Polanco's the only man to answer back for the Minnesota Twins, currently with 1 RBI on the afternoon. Odor in a 3-0 count against Moran. Come on, Moran, just pitch clean here, pitch clean. Just 3 up, 3 down, and away we go. I'd love to see that if Giovanni Moran could get out there and get this job done. Instead, Odor will walk on 4 pitches. That inflates the whip yet again if you are Giovanni Moran. And it would have been nice to see him start really not allowing any base runners out of the pen. That'd be a big get for the Minnesota Twins. But folks, we're also at 48 views this hour, so we are crushing it here on Clemhawks today. We're up over, what is that? 5,907 views on the last 2 hours. That's going to help the old goal for the day. We're currently 107, 120, 137, 51. 61. Okay, we're having an all right little day here, folks, here on Clemhawks. So let's close it out, shall we? Let's have a good day and close it out. Ryan McKenna at the dish, playing center field for the Baltimore Orioles. Like to see him get out here. Moran get through the inning clean and get the job done. Actually, what I didn't tell you is how many strikeouts Moran has. And in 13.2 innings, you want to know why he hasn't given up any runs. He's struck out 20 batters. The guy is absolutely raking up the strikeouts this season. That is a big get if you're the Minnesota Twins. Just absolutely striking guys out. And McKenna trying to bunt aboard. Foul bunt. Oh boy, you do not see that often, up 2 runs in the top half of the 9th, but just trying to squeeze on board. Let me tell you, you want to catch guys off guard. It's like Little League when you're the first batter up in the top half of the first. You just want to hit the ball into the outfield where all the kids are picking up butterflies and rocks because they ain't paying attention yet. They aren't in the game yet, and that's what Ryan McKenna tried to do here against the Twins. Catch them napping 2 outs in the top of the 9th with a man on. Why not get it going? And so he fouls that bump back, and it'll remain 3-1 with a runner at first and 2 out against Giovanni Moran. And my goodness, my head is getting light from all this talking. I have not streamed this long in a while here. And we're up over an hour and 43 on the stream. That is a long time to be live streaming today. And currently another foul back from McKenna. But right now at 1.2 minutes times 77 views, that is a total watch time of 1.5 hours. So yeah, we've been crushing today's live stream. Like to finish it off strong and get out of the gate here into the post-game review if we possibly could. Here with a victory for the Twins, top of the 9th, 2 out. McKenna's at the dish for the Orioles, however, and he's trying to gash this man or advance him from first. By the way, very glad I brewed that tea. That tea was a very good call. Keeping me alive here on what has been a long day so far. Woke up about 8:30 and crawled out of the tent, and oh my goodness, I looked like death. I quite honestly looked like I had died, but it is what it is. All right, so unless I'm a million miles behind, McKenna strikes out. Giovanni Moran gets another strikeout. Kepler, Garlick, and Sanchez due up for the Twins in the bottom half of the ninth inning. And you'd like to see this go here. Moran gets down to a $1.23 ERA. That is effective, right? 22 strikeouts and 15 2/3. The guy has been money for the Minnesota Twins. When you need the bullpen to be money, he has been money. And not at all, my man. You know this offense. Come on, Clem, have a little faith. Saying 2 runs is too hard to come back from. Start putting the big guns in there and you should be fine, right? If Buxton gets a chance to bat, right? You got Kyle Garlick coming up to the dish here in the inning. He's out there in left field. You could have him bat. I mean, you could have Kepler bat. You could have him bat for Kepler. Whatever you want to do, you could easily have Byron Buxton come in and be an impact player here in this bottom of the ninth. But I don't know if you want to save him a little bit later on, right? You've got Sanchez in the catching position. You got Kirilov at first. So what you could do, I guess, technically speaking, is move Arise to second. Move Kirilov over to the game for Buxton. Buxton into DH, Polanco to third, and Miranda over to first. That's a lot of substitutions, and I don't even know if Rocco Baldelli's got the intelligence level to do that, but my goodness, you could easily mess around with his batting lineup the way it's constructed today to fit Buxton in anywhere in this situation in the next 4 batters, right? If you want to move him in for Kepler, if you want to move him in for Garlick, or if you want to move him in for Kirilov. Obviously, if you get to Kirilov, I think if you're facing a lefty for some reason, you've got to put Buxton in. Even if you're facing a righty, I think you take your chances if you got guys on. But again, I don't even know what the status of Byron Buxton is after the past 2 games. So somebody, if you're in the comments right now, please correct me if I'm missing anything. But folks, I don't think we are. I think the Twins have a very solid chance to walk things off if they play their cards right here in the bottom of the ninth and everybody does their job. But for the Twins, right, they've had 4 hits this ball game. They've had a couple of walks, and they have not been a very effective getting on base team. 3 walks and 4 hits in 28 at-bats. You're talking a 250 OBP plus the error, I guess you could say, but it has not been good at all. And Joe, you're saying the Twins are going to win. We are hoping the Twins are going to win because this, like I said, I just mapped it all out right there for you. This is a big inning coming up, right? You have a chance to go up 3 wins to start the month, and for the Twins, how amazing would that be if you could just go out there and win 3 games in a row? And instead, Tate will come out of the bullpen for the Orioles, so he's looking to close this one out. I believe he's been their closer all season long so far. 2.17 ERA for the Baltimore Orioles does the closer have in Tate. So you'd like to see him get a little blown up here if possible. And that would be a big get for Kepler, who will continue to bat against the right-hander Tate. And that will be a big go. Kyle Garlick on deck. 1 for 1 in this ball game. And for Kepler, man, you've got to be kidding me if Kepler doesn't get on base here. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts in this ball game so far. You'd love to see him get going. 3 strikes. And of course, Tate starts him 3-0. There's been like 7 in the time that I've watched this ball game. 7 3-0 counts against the Twins, and they've worked 4 walks. Instead, Kepler, instead of taking the walk, grounds out on pitch number 5. Mountcastle makes the play at first, and that is out number 1. So now you come up needing 3 runs, 2 to tie, 3 to win, and you've got Garlick, Sanchez, potentially Kirilov or Buxton next. So you got 3 guys that you're betting on. I mean, technically you could pinch hit for Garlick too. Like I said, I laid that out. I don't know why you'd want Buxton to be the guy right now. I'd prefer Buxton to be the guy 2 bats from now, and that's exactly what the Twins are going to do. Is Garlick take strike one. So now you really got to pick up steam here and try and win this ball game at all costs. Because I'm sorry, right now we just had a really crappy June. You have a chance to go out there and win 3 in a row to start July. That's what's getting me right now. The Twins have a chance to go out and be very effective to start July, right? 3 wins in a row, coming off of a couple of losses against the Guardians in a row. You'd love to see the Twins be that team to get the job done here this afternoon in 3 straight walk-offs against the Baltimore Orioles. And how about this? Garlick in a 2-1 count. Sanchez, all he needs to do if somebody gets on is hit a home run, and that guy to get on is Kyle Garlick. So, right, you'd love to see it if I'm not telling you something wrong there. And I guess technically, too, if Sanchez gets aboard, you could use Buxton as a pinch runner from first or second, and you could cash 2 runs to tie the ball game if you trust Kirilov to be your guy. And why not? He's cashed a couple of very important RBIs over the past 3 or 4 weeks, so give him a shot too. The kid's got an opportunity to be a hero. Why not? But right now, Kyle Garlick's got to do something productive. That's all it comes down to. Kyle Garlick has got to do something productive. Obviously, if he gets out, Sanchez bats. He gets on or he gets out. Doesn't really matter. You either win or you either lose or live to see another at bat. That's probably when Buxton comes in. And away you go and you try and tie the ball game on a home run or maybe double and try and bash, right? But Garlick would be your guy to get on base right now. If you need somebody to get on, you need him to get on. Sanchez at worst to sack fly him from second to third, and Buxton to come up or Miranda to come up, Kirilov to come up and hit a big hit. That's best case scenario, realistically all I can say, but the Twins have not, other than the Polanco hit, had a big hit, and there you go. Talk about note right there. The Twins get it, and that is all she wrote. Kyle Garlick strikes out, bottom of the 9th, 2 out against Tate, the closer for the Baltimore Orioles. And Gary Sanchez 0 for 3 on the day, steps up to the dish. So you got Sanchez and Kirilov, the next 2 scheduled batters. Sanchez currently in the box against Tate, and Kirilov waits on deck, potentially to be pinch hit for by Byron Buxton. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is the fun part about the live tracker. You get no ambience to it. You just get what's text, paper, and written down. It'd be nice to see Sanchez really step up here and be a productive member of the batting lineup today. Get on base. That's all that matters, quite honestly. I'm so tired of the Twins sending one batter over the minimum of the dish. You would just love to see them all of a sudden open the floodgates here with 2 outs and get the job done. Clem's the man with no faith, and I mean, he's the man that watches the Twins 10 times more than I do, so he should know. And it's swinging strikes and taking strike for an 0-2 count. Gary Sanchez down quick against Tate, and that looks about as good as it does, doesn't it? And it does not look good at all. So the Twins, well, they started off all right. They'll win a series here against Baltimore at worst. End of the day, that's it. At worst, they win a series. But, yeah, you can't afford to take this one too lightly and try and lose it right here because you're down 0-2 if you're Gary Sanchez. That's all I'm going to say. And he will be out. That will be an out to end the game for Gary Sanchez. Dylan Tate strikes Sanchez out. And my friends, that will do it for us here on Clemhawks. I'm Yak. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream this afternoon. It's been my pleasure having you along this afternoon. We will catch you in the postgame. Thank you for tuning in.